spot at that moment in time.
The funny thing is that's about what you look like when I first met you in Northampton County Prison.
I'll insert all that the clip in here so you guys can hear it.
But no, man, yeah, I did that show, and I mean, even that show ended up bringing up feelings. Like, I feel some type of way about doing that show. Like, actually, I'm starting to feel some type of way about even bringing it up. Like, I kind of feel like I put my daughter's information out there. Like, even though they never said her name, like, her friends know who her parents are. If her friends ever see this, they're going to know that this situation existed.
That's why they'll never see it.
But how do you, like, we don't know that. And that's one thing.
That's
that's
an old.
Right, but somebody's going to pop across that and be like, hey, and say my daughter, and be like, hey, isn't that your mom and dad?
So, like just for instance, like, I have an aunt that doesn't, she drinks, and when she gets drunk, she has a habit of bringing shit up from the past, right? So, like, anybody at any moment could be like, hey, you remember that time your mom and dad were on
man.
TV? Like,
shit
you
can
know what I'm
happen,
saying?
man.
Like, it does happen.
But
It
really bothered me. And, like, that brings me, my whole thought on daytime TV has changed since then, man, because, like, that shit exploits your problems. That doesn't help anything. Honestly, that show, the only thing that show did for us was it put on a piece of paper to my kid's mother the truth, like the lie detector test, saying that I had nothing to do with it. It solidified in her head that I had nothing to do with it, and it opened the gateway to me being back in my children's lives. You know, and that was what I needed to do in the moment. I'm not happy about it, honestly.
So after everything that you're saying, where are you at now?
And so that all started it. Then I decided that I wanted to be clean. Like, after that show, like, I had done a week and a half. I was good, and I decided I wanted to be clean. I wasn't doing meetings or anything yet. I was just working and staying away from people. That was it. I had a new girl. I kind of locked myself away. I got a place that was, you know, a couple miles out of the city, away from people, that nobody knew where I was at, and I could just go to work, go home, and not have to worry about nobody, and life was good. And it was like that for like a good 9 months. And then I was like, well, you know, things are going a little bit better. I need to be able to see my kids. And in order to do that, I needed to come back to Pennsylvania, and I needed to start taking care of my issues. You know, I left Pennsylvania because I was trying to get clean, but before I got clean, I created a bunch of problems. You know, I've been arrested multiple times for child support. In the process of being arrested for child support, I had drugs in my pocket, so I caught more drug charges. So, like, there was all that lying above my head. And I have such an extensive criminal background that if I get in trouble for jaywalking, I go to state prison. So when I got caught with one bag of heroin, they wanted to give me 3 to 6 in state prison for one bag, just possession of one bag. They were like, you're looking at 3 to 6 years. Like, I walked in and I was like, can I just get my stuff and go? And the judge was like, no, you need a lawyer. She was like, you've been to state prison twice already. Like, you're looking at going back to state prison for a long time for this. And I was just like, it's a bag. She was like, you should have showed up to court. All because I didn't show up to the magistrate.
It's a bag, but it's not a trash bag.
Right.
It's a bag of heroin.
That goes to show,
this
too.
freaking big, dude. And I gave up. So then they offered me this drug court program, all right? And I was already clean. I was already sober. The point of drug court was to change your lifestyle around. Like, they give you this structured system to work around, and people bashed it, and I was like real worried about doing it. I'm like, no, this is going to be terrible. But it kept me on the street. All right, I had to do craziness, and I'm sure that this helped. It had to. Like, what else does it do? Like, I come back to where I have my problems. I come back to
structure and routine.
Right, and I come back to my hometown where I have all my problems. And I have to live by their structure, so I can't mess up. Messing up is not an option. They didn't leave that option. Like, they were like, you mess up, you go to jail. Jail's not an option for me anymore. I'm too old for that. If I go back to jail, they better take me for the rest of my life. Like, that's just where I'm at.
Right.
I'm not going back to sit in jail for 3 or 4 years. If I go back to jail, it's going to be because I really need to be in jail. I don't have time like that anymore, you know?
We're getting older. Our kids are getting older. They need us.
Right. So I chose to stay out so that I could take care of my children. I chose to be on the street and do this intensive program. And it started off as every week going to court, doing 90 meetings in 90 days on top of doing outpatient counseling. So some days I was doing 2 and 3 meetings, and it's all mandatory. And I had a little GPS tracking monitor on, so they knew where I was at all times. So I had to go to every meeting, and they knew I was at every meeting. Court every week, man, just listening to them, doing what they told me to, following that structure, allowing myself to succumb to the structure. Because some people fought it, and the people that fought it, they went to jail, and they didn't go through. But, there was a few of us that made it through.
Structure is hard for a lot of people.
It is. But it's good, too. So, it might be really hard, but structure is one of the best, especially in recovery. Mm-hmm. Recovery is all about structure. So if you're going to live a better life, you have to live by structure. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to have some structure to that.
Yes. Not only in recovery, it's just in general.
Life, just to live better, just to be progressive. So I did that program, and I mean, I think I might have gotten in trouble, I think, once. Like, I kind of excelled through the program. Me and a couple other guys, like, we clicked up together and just kind of excelled through the program. And they did so much to help me, man. Like, and I just took advantage of it. They're like, listen, if you're willing to do this, we're going to pay for this, and we're going to get you certified in smart recovery. And, dude, they paid for me to get certified in smart recovery, which is an alternative to 12-step recovery program. So 12-step programs are faith-based, and they're all based on, like, God and prayer. And smart recovery is based in science and real scientific facts to back up what they have laid out for you. It's just to me, it was a system that worked much better for the way my mind works. So for me, I needed something that worked with science and not with God, because my mind isn't with God. My mind is with science. To me, science makes sense. Yeah. All right. If 30 people do one thing and have the same result, that tells me more than a book. Unless that book is written by the scientists.
Yeah. So right now you're actually helping people that was you.
Yeah, and I'm still like they're still like we never really changed too much. Like people change, but like they're always the same base person. All these parts are still there, so they still are who they are. But yeah, no, I do this every week. It's not even for them though; it's for me. For real.
It's helping. You're helping somebody else. Meanwhile, you're helping yourself.
Absolutely. It is the biggest help for me. I actually missed a meeting a couple of weeks ago that I was supposed to run, and Nick actually took it over for me because I was picking one of my other buddies up from rehab, and because I missed that meeting, and then I think we came in here 2 days later and we tried to record. And our system went down and we couldn't record.
Yeah.
And then the next morning I go home and dude, I was so pissed from that week and then not having my meeting and my balance was all fucked up that I had the biggest outburst. It was so crazy. I exploded. I bottled everything up and exploded.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I've come to learn a lot throughout the past couple of years of being in recovery and doing this work on myself. I've learned about who I am and the things that make me tick.
We all learn that. It's a process.
It definitely is, man.
It definitely is a process.
But you brought up another good key point, man, is the fact that, you have people around you to help you when you need it.
Absolutely. Remember that video? I think you were there when we seen it. It was they said the opposite of addiction is connection.
Connection, correct.
Yeah. I thoroughly believe that, man. If it wasn't for the connections that I made with people and the friends that I've made in recovery and the people that are living better, I might not be where I'm at now. I could have chose to click up with some of the same people I used to click up with before and ended up in the same spot. But instead I chose to choose people who I thought were doing right by what I think life is supposed to be about. And people who are trying to do the right thing and surrounding myself with those people. I'm just happy that some of those people are people that I've been friends with. I'm always thankful for new friendships, but me and Storm have known each other probably since we were teenagers, and we weren't always close friends, but we've always known always been cool. He was one of my cousin's best friends. So like we always like knew who each other were.
Yeah,
but
we all grew up together. We all
Yeah,
did
yeah,
stupid
yeah.
shit together.
Yeah.
I mean, we know our
But like I'm just happy that now that I'm older and I'm living better and I'm not the person I was like 10 years ago, that you're able to see me as the person I am now, if that
Oh, of
makes
course,
sense. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
I'm grateful
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
able to see me as the person I am now. We're
Yes.
able to have this friendship the way we do now,
yes.
which wasn't the way it was before.
No,
You know?
no, it definitely wasn't.
And same thing with Nick. Like I met Nick in intake in jail, and now we're sitting here living productive lives together. Like
It's amazing how things just do like a whole crazy 360 sometimes.
absolutely.
And it's the way, you know, I'm a firm believer of people being in each other's lives for a reason.
For a reason. Like Tony just said, we met originally at the intake in NCP, and I would have never guessed in a million years that me and him would be sitting right now in a room
Doing a
discussing-
podcast on recovery.
On recovery.
And not even just, but just about anything positive in
general. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not even just about recovery, because you know we've pretty much declared that this is going to be more than just that. Like we
Right.
want this to be a movement. This isn't just a podcast for us. This is a movement. Bouncing Back is a movement. We want to show people that this is possible for anybody. Anybody can live productively. You just got to put in a little bit of work and effort.
So I want to share this with you guys real quick. So I was in an Uber a couple days ago, and the guy that was driving my Uber was a life coach, and he does like boxing instruction for teens and troubled youth and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying that he was having trouble dealing with his son. His son wanted all this stuff. He had all this entitlement in his system, right? And he told his son, basically, you know, every man has a desire to be significant in life. But he said, in order to make your mark on life, you have to work for it. Nothing comes to you for free. And I fully believe in what this man said. When he told me this at that point in time, so early in the morning, it was the most profound thing I'd ever heard. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. To get where I'm at right now, I had to work really hard to get where I'm at right now. Like, it wasn't just handed to me. It wasn't like, okay, here you go. Here, you can have this job and you can be responsible now. You can just have all this. Like, I have to work daily to maintain that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Definitely have to work daily to maintain. So with the whole connection thing, like addiction, or the opposite addiction being connection, that's what my idea was for Bouncing Back. So like when I came with my portion of my idea of it, you know, my idea is I want to get to know people. Like this is about getting to know the people that are out there. The more I know about other people, the more I can know about me. You know, and that's my outlook on life right now. Is the more I study people and the things that they do, the more I can understand what I'm doing. And it's just been phenomenal. Like, I love talking to people. I love poking and prodding and asking questions. Like, Nick has seen a couple of the meetings that I've run. Like, I like to dig deeper. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know why you're thinking about things. And that's not just with the person who deals with the same struggles as me. I want to know everybody's struggles because I just want to know. Like, I was just telling somebody the other day that I wanted to do that extreme haunted house down in Tennessee, the one where they like torture you for 10 hours and they'll give you 20 grand if you can make it for 10 hours.
Yeah.
I want to do that. And everybody's like, oh, why? You're a sadist and all that. And I was just like, my honest answer is because I want to know what it's like
To be tortured?
to be tortured and to have to live through that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like,
You
I
think
want
that'll
to
fuck you up though.
I mean, I know, but like, I just want to experience everything because there's so much in this world. It's so weird. Like, and I know that's like just one of the bad things. Like there's so much out there now that I want to see, and so many people that I want to talk to and get to know, and things that I want to know about. Like, I've been talking to different like judges. I've been talking to different caseworkers and all different people who do big things. And there's questions that I want to ask, and I want everybody to hear these answers, not just me, because I know there's other people out here that want to hear this stuff as much as I do.
And that's our goal. We're gonna have people coming in on our show, and we're gonna have interviewers and people calling in, and different kinds of people.
We're
Like,
even going to start at some point in time announcing